It's the Casimir Engine Show podcast. Just done an interview. Got loads of shiz to talk about, particularly about my holiday, what I've just come back from.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine.
That is me.
Ka-ka-ka. Hasn't that been done to death? Isn't that so 990s?
Ka-ka-ka.
You think so?
It's the Casimir engine. It's not ka-ka-ka.
It ain't ka-ka-ka. That's what it ain't. Hey, Herbie the studio dog's chewing his bone. Ooh, underneath the studio desk. He's going to get a boot right up his jacksy.
I've listened to your show and it's a shambles.
blinking. Brilliant was that. Show can't get any better. Nobody can be as good. Dunk, 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 dunk. Oh, Fandabby-dozy. I love that sound at the end. I'm in a right piccalilli. There's stuff everywhere. 'Cause I've just come back from my holidays. Where you been, Kaz? I don't tell anybody where I'm going because I don't want to get papped. I don't want them paparazzis there with the big, massive lenses. Oh, I've got a story about big, massive lenses in a bit. I'll have to write it down in a sec because I'll forget. Hang on a minute. Number 6, big, massive lens. There you go. Right, I'll remember to do that in a minute. So, what's on the show tonight, Kaz? And who asked you? My new friends in Starbucks in Little Eaton, they said, "Here, Kaz, before I serve you your Americano with hot milk straight in for Casimir, let us know what's on the show." I said, "Well, I tell you what, Mr. Barista. We've got top tunage, as to be expected. We've got a chat. I've just done an interview with Mick Wilson from Diamond Bridges, band off of Ripley. And we had a chat about music and all sorts of stuff. They've got a new album out, so we'll be playing 3 tracks from the album. We've also got... Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to have to drag that back a bit. Hang on a minute, let's drag it back to about there. We've had some... I need to get that. Where is it? Hang on, I've lost my letter. Where did my letter go? Oh, here we go. We had a letter from a listener. Dear Casimir, I thoroughly enjoyed the episode where you nearly got stung off by a load of bees. But you didn't explain how you got them bees back in their house. Love the show, Douglas and Elaine from Glasgow. Well, I tell you how we did. Well, I've got, in a future episode, I've got Carl the Bee Man. He's going to appear on the show and we're going to interview some bees. But, just to let you in on a secret, he's got this little tube of stuff. And it's like... I suppose it's like Lynx for bees. And it's a pheromone. And you put it in a thing, and all the bees go in the thing, and then you shove them back in their house. And that's how it happens. That's how the magic happens. So thank you very much for your letter. Let's have some music, Kaz. The back. Derbyshire's all-time best synthesizer band. It's analogue, electronic, whatever. They've only got a new flipping single out.
Hold on tight.
absolutely beautiful is that? That is going to be up there with best track of the year for me. Oh, that is sensational. That is... I don't want to get this wrong, right? That is Analog Electronic Whatever. They're having another vinyl release. This will be the third vinyl release, and I've got 2 of them already. Oh! And they've been joined by a band called The Truth Sounds Different. The other side of the single is Fly Me to the Moon, a synthesizer version of that. And so it's all spacey, it's all synthy. You can find them all on social media, Analog Electronic Whatever. And The Truth Sounds Different, both on Facebook and both on Twitter. It's Truth S Different on Twitter and AEW Analog on Twitter for Analog Electronic Whatever. That is absolutely banging. I could play that again now. Hey, where you been on holiday then, Kaz? I've been to... What's the Story, Tobermory? I'll get done by Liam Gallagher for singing that now. So yeah, I've been to Tobermory. I've been all the way to the Isle of Mull, which is an island off the west coast of Scotland. If you want to Google map it, there's more of it to come. But can I just put this out there? It is one of the most expensive places I've ever been to in my life. Right, imagine Casimir walks into a pub. And let's say, round about in my neck of the woods, right, if you want a real ale, £3.50, something like that. 2 pints of IPA, please, sir. Pours out the beer. I got me tenner. He gives me 10 pence change out of 10 quid. You've got to be having a laugh. So, to calm myself down, we've got my new best friend Liam from Future Echo with Lament of a Time Traveller.
This is Horace.
And this is Isaac.
We're the Brothers Byrne, and you're listening to the
Casimir Engine Podcast.
And it's great.
I was supposed to say that.
I was waiting on you.
So that is Future Echo with Lament of a Time Traveller. That's our Liam. He sent his music in to me. I says, look, I'll stick it on. Not a problem, Skeet. Didn't realise it was as good as that. It's absolutely superb. So I went all the way. Oh, don't forget, I'll put all the details of how to get in touch with the bands on at Casimir Podcast on Twitter, at Casimir Podcast on Facebook, and then you've got www.casimirengine.com. That's where the loaded tune cannon goes off. You can pick up all the other episodes and stuff like that on there. Oh God, I went all flipping. Oh, you can get all the episodes on there. Anyway, so yeah, I went to the Isle of Mull, west coast of Scotland. That's renowned for its good weather, isn't it, Kaz? No, it ain't. It absolutely binned it down. I don't know whether anybody knows, but also there was another issue. When Factory Records were going to release a new album by the Happy Mondays. The Happy Mondays were heroin addicts at the time. So they said, right, we've got to send them somewhere where they're not going to be able to get loads of drugs. So they sent them to, like, somewhere in the Caribbean that was the crack cocaine capital of the world, right? Not a good idea. So not quite on that level, but my one vice is cheese. So where did we go? To a cheese farm. Well, it wasn't like a cheese farm. It was a dairy farm where they made Isle of Mull cheddar, Isle of Mull smoked cheddar, Isle of Mull blue-veined cheddar. Ooh, saucy. So check my DNA on ancestors.com. 99% dairy. Flipping, I've never eaten so much cheese. It was absolutely superb. And if we've got time tonight, I met a guy called Beco. He's off of Argentina. Yeah, so I'm in the west coast of Scotland. I'm on an island off the west coast of Scotland. I get back to our farm where we're staying after a day walking, looking at birds and stuff like that. I saw 3 golden eagles. How about that? 3 golden eagles, 2 white-tailed eagles. Incredible. So I'll get back to Beco in a minute. But we're standing there and these golden eagles came out, and all these like twitchery types, they've got cameras with lenses the size of my leg, which ain't very long, everybody's saying who knows me. Right, but yeah, these are like whacking great big telescopic lenses, and they're like focusing on this thing. This bloke turned around, I'm standing there with my phone photograph them. Oh, such an amateur, Kaz. Anyway, so yeah, saw all them. Anyway, came back to the farm. It's something in Gaelic, and I couldn't pronounce it then. Somebody told me how to pronounce it, and I couldn't then. So anyway, I met Beco, because Beco was sitting on the wall outside of our milk cottage. It was called. It was the old milking shed. Playing the bagpipes, and I said, "Here, Beco, can I record you? It's for my podcast." He said, "Not a problemski." So I've got a recording of him playing the bagpipes outside, just like drop of an hat. That'll be coming up. We've also got the chat that I had with Mick Wilson. It's all coming up on the Casimir Engine Show. Before that, we're going to have a new track by Ace Band that I can't pronounce still. It's either Shima or Skama. Anyway, it doesn't matter how you pronounce it. They're absolutely mega. This is from my man Dunk. It's a new track. It's called Go West, and they're based in Bournemouth. Again, all the stuff is going to be on the social media pages.
All that she said. Make him high, make him touch the sky. They won't make a sound. Make them low, and no one will know.
Unbelievable. It's Schema from Bournemouth, and that's my man Dunk.
For more information about the programme, please visit.
Let's get the details out of the way. It's at Casimir Podcast on Twitter and at Casimir Podcast on Facebook. The website is www.casimirengine.com.
That's the incredible Black Fever off of Australia. That was from my man San Remo. He sends me these tracks all the way from Toronto, and the band's Australian. Incredibly.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show, and it's great.
Diamond Bridges, and earlier this evening I had a chat with Mick Wilson, drummer and lead vocalist.
Oh yeah.
Hello, is that Mr. Mick Wilson?
Hello, mate. Yeah, it is.
How you
How are
doing?
you?
In technology, isn't it incredible?
It is nowadays, mate. Yeah, not like in olden days.
It's like being on Star Trek, isn't it? I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it some of these times.
Yeah, well, we used to have to put 10 pence in the phone box.
I can remember when it was 2 pence. That's I'm older than that. So, how you keeping? Everything all right?
Yes, I'm doing very well, mate. I've just been trying to publicise the album and rehearsing for the gigs we've got this summer. So,
oh right,
really busy.
So tell it, how did you lot get together? Because there's yourself, there's Neil, there's 3 of you in the band, isn't there?
There's three of us. Yeah, there's me, Neil, and Ronald McFarlane. I was hitting my 60th birthday last year.
I don't believe it.
Aye, and I don't believe it either. And I've always been a songwriter, and I wanted to do a collaboration.
Okay.
So I just put an advert out, and I've known Neil a long time. He came along straight away, and Ronald came from an advert on Join My Band, and he's from Scotland. He lives in Nottingham. He's a vet, and he's never actually played live before. We've done it recently, but me and Neil's been around sort of, and we just started writing songs. I wanted to write 12 for an album, and within 6 weeks we recorded 40. 40? 40 songs. Neil had to stop. Neil had to say to Ronald and myself, "Stop! I want to learn some of these songs." It's crazy.
You are a pent-up songwriter, then.
Yes, I've been doing it. I took up drums about 15 years ago, but I'm a songwriter by trade. I toured loads and loads when I was young in the 80s and 90s. Got a record deal, lost the record deal, and sort of went into the promotion of bands and stuff for a while. I've just finished after 18 years of being secretary of Ripley Music Festival.
Oh yeah.
So I've been doing more organising, and I wanted to get back to my roots, which was playing, singing, and sort of writing, collaborating. And so I've done, as well as the stuff I've done with this band, I've been collaborating just with friends, just phoning them up and saying, "Come round and write a song." So, my favourite people, I've just tapped them on the shoulder and said, "Do you want to come round the studio?"
Oh, right.
So the last 2 years, it's been great,
So going back a bit then, you said you were in bands in the 80s. What kind of stuff were you playing then?
It was sort of rocky indie stuff. It was a sort of a crossover between quite sort of Gary Morey rock and sort of indie punky. So one song could be really sort of heavy, and another song could be really pop, which for me was, and everybody at that time wanted you to just play one thing. Yeah. And I've never been a person who just says, like, I'm just one type of songwriter. I like different genres. Yeah. Everything from rock to indie to pop to even blues, and even country and western is something I'm actually getting into more as I've got older. The bluegrass, type of that. So what were your influences then as a kid? Everything. The funniest story I tell is I was brought up a Catholic. I'm not now. The vicar or priest came onto the schoolyard and said, "Hello, anybody?" And it was Irish, obviously. Anybody want to be in the choir? So we all backed off, and somebody just whispered into my ear, says, "It's 2 and 6 for a wedding and 5 bob for a funeral." Oh, right. If you're in the choir. So me and all my mates rushed forward, and that was my very first experience, was being in a Catholic church choir. So I've never looked back. Every single band that we've ever had on here always says we don't do it for the money, but you straight away as a child you did it for the money. Well, the thing was then, my mum was a single parent in the 60s. My dad died when I was 2 and I can't remember him, and so we'd all got no money. So at Christmas, what I'd say to my mates is we'd go around and we'd do carol singing. Yeah. And because we'd been taught by the priest and been properly disciplined about singing, we earned a fortune at Christmas. As 11 and 12-year-olds.
Good grief!
No. That was when I started, but sort of in the rock bands, it wasn't until music-wise, it wasn't until maybe 82. I was at university and we put a little bit of a band together.
Yeah,
and I started singing then, and then I just haven't stopped ever since. It's just been loads of bands, wrote loads of stuff, and I'm in a covers band as well. So I play drums for my daughter's band, so I just doing tons of stuff.
Well, one of the questions that I'd had kind of spinning around in my head today was, why didn't you take the easy route and just become a covers band? And now you tell me that you've written 40 original songs. Why didn't you go down the covers route?
I spent a long time writing and not earning any money, but enjoying touring. Because what happened then is very similar to what happens now. The original bands, they club together in groups of 3 and 4, and in every city in the UK, you'll have one venue where they'll have live music, original music on.
Yeah.
Nottingham, Sheffield, Leeds, Leicester. So it was a bit of a safe place. I mean, all the bands hated each other, but they'd come together just for originality, and then so it's cheaper for us to go and play all around the UK, really. But I wanted to keep doing that, and I didn't want to do any covers. I wanted to sing original songs and get famous and lavish it up with champagne down in London.
You're supposed to say
instead of lying on Skeggy Beach, you want to do now.
You're supposed to say it's about the music. It's not about the money. It's about the music.
It's
about the money.
It's about the music. I wouldn't. I'm still doing it. I wouldn't do it. I mean, people can or cannot buy the stuff that you do. So it's purely. I mean, I write the songs basically about what I'm doing and things that are happening around in my life and other people's lives. So I've never earned a lot of money from music. The covers band, we go out for decent wages. We're playing at Donington Park World Superbikes in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah.
And what's that band called?
We're called No Danger.
No Danger.
We just do classic rock stuff. It's on Facebook. You can go and have a look.
Yeah.
We've got loads of videos and stuff. I'm the oldest, and everybody else is reasonably young.
When you get to our age, you say that quite a lot, don't you? Because I always say this when I'm talking to somebody on the podcast. I always say, "Are we of a similar kind of vintage?" And they go, "Well, yeah, I'm 33," and I think I'm not even going to mention how old I am. But we are of a similar vintage because you went first with the 60 thing.
Yeah. But I can't deny it, but I don't live by it. You know what I mean? I live by what I want to do, and people still want to be in bands with me, and still want to, go around and I've got the lead guitarist in No Danger's 23.
Yeah,
he loves it. He's young. We don't earn a lot of money, but we earn enough to keep him off the streets, and he's not got a job. I think that's cool as well.
That's fantastic.
Give him a bit of an apprenticeship.
I've got a question for you then, and it does still revolve around doing it for the money or how what you make music for. But we've had a bit of a kind of a running theme. We've not made a great deal of it at the moment, but I'm thinking about it, and that is: do you think music should be free? And do you think you should make... Because it's real, things have turned on their heads. You used to always buy the albums and you'd sell 1 billion albums and you make all your money that way. Then records don't sell or CDs didn't sell, and you made money out of touring and going out on the road and doing gigs. And now it seems that you buy merchandise. And we've been looking at this, touring merchandise. So do you give away your music to draw people in, the sprat to catch the mackerel? And then you bombard them with merchandise and gigs?
I've got no idea, to be truthful and honest. It's just I wanted to make... A lot of people in the industry were sat on albums after album where they made money when the record companies were in their sort of ascendancy, and then because the music got cheaper, the record companies collapsed. Online sales, the companies themselves took the vast majority of the money, so people weren't earning a lot out of it. People had to go and start playing live again. So you got lots of bands, even from my era, who have gone out because they couldn't get the regular income that they need to sustain their lifestyles. So live, they have to go out and play live again and sell lots and lots of merchandise.
Yeah.
So, from a small band like us, we will do 3 gigs this year, maybe 4 or 5 if we're asked.
Yeah.
We won't have any. We'll sell a few CDs at the gigs, and that'll probably pay for the fact that we got the CDs.
Yeah.
It's the actual amount of people doing original stuff nowadays that worries me, because there isn't a lot. It's nowhere near as much as there used to be back in the 70s.
Yeah, it's just easy to go out and do those covers, isn't it? I suppose it really is easy to do it that way.
It is difficult. Maybe it's harder nowadays because of the track record of music in general as developed. So there's a lot of things to do new.
Yeah.
I just like writing songs rather than looking for a new way of doing songs, to try and catch people's imagination. I just want to write good songs. And in the 70s, when I used to knock about as a music fan, I would look for originality. I don't think a lot of people do now.
Yeah.
I'd go out and I'd be looking to go and see a new band. I'd go all over the UK with my mates on the train, sleep in sort of train stations, waiting rooms, and just go and see as many different bands as I could. And I don't know anybody that does that nowadays.
Do you know
Even
what?
If I was unique then.
You've just given me a bad memory of when I had to sleep on, I think it was Wakefield Trinity Railway Station, and I've been up to Wakefield to see Toyah Wilcox. Do you remember her?
Toyah? Well, I met her.
No way.
I met her at Nebworth Festival in the 80s. Yeah, she was a journalist for East Midlands Today.
Oh right.
She was on the television and she interviewed us. Yeah, we'd been to see some, I don't know, it was either Black Sabbath or something at Nebworth.
Yeah.
We bumped into her before she came what was it, a TV sex star, didn't she?
Oh, I don't know about that. You can't mention that on...
A late night TV programme about people's sexual habits.
It's a bloody family show, this is, Mick, if you don't mind, coming on with your sex talk. Crikey O'Reilly. No. Hey, well, we kicked off just before we started chatting. We had to listen to One More Minute to Go. Shall we have another track off the new album? What's the new album called?
It's called One More Minute to Go, which is about basically waiting to go on stage.
Fantastic. Give us a track then. What shall we listen to next?
Come Along.
Fair enough. We'll have that.
Come Along is about being nice to everybody and being true to yourself.
On my own, smile on your face, it could never erase all the feelings I have deep inside. Shout to the night, it will all be alright, for your love is so deep in my eyes. Come along, I can see the light in your eyes. Come along, I can see the pride in your eyes. I can see the pride in your eyes.
So you said you got gigs coming up this year. What you got coming up?
We're playing at Ripley Music Festival. Launch day is on the 6th of July.
Okay.
At the Waingroves Woods. It's basically a woods in Ripley that's owned by the community.
Oh, right.
And they're taking over the sort of wood for the day. You can't drive to it. It's something you have to walk to. So it's in the depths of the little wood there.
Yeah.
So we're on there on the Saturday afternoon at around 4:00.
Okay.
And then the week later, we're at Matlock Bath Music Festival at the Fish Pond.
Hey, I'll meet you there.
Yeah, the 13th, and we'll be outdoor.
Oh, right. Whereabouts are you playing? Do you know yet?
Playing outside at the Fish Pond.
Okay, round the back on the terrace, is it? Is it the terrace?
Yeah, about 4:30, I think we're on.
Okay,
on the 13th. And then we've got one on the 11th of August at the Denby Cricket Club, which is for a charity thing.
Yeah, fantastic.
Nice.
So how do we get hold of One More Minute to Go? What if people want to listen to the album? What if they want to purchase it? How do they get in touch with you?
They can, we're all over Facebook, so go on the site. It's me that'll answer you on there. It's available on iTunes, and it's on Amazon and Spotify, and we're also winging their way to us as we speak. Is the actual album on a CD version, which is going to be a unique one. We're only having one run.
Yeah.
So there'll be 100 of those for sale.
Okay.
So they'll pick them up at gigs or just mail myself or anybody in the band.
So,
and if we're sober enough, we'll send you one.
Where did you get your CD done? Where do you get it all mastered and all that, or did you do that yourself?
I recorded. I've got a recording studio at home.
Yeah. As you do.
I did the mastering, and the lads did the critical analysis, basically telling me that knob needs to be louder than that one.
Is that members of the band?
Yeah. So we had regular meetings about the mix. So
yeah,
it's all our own work, and we mixed it down ourselves. We're reasonably happy with it.
Yeah,
I'm sure we could have, if we'd have got a producer and paid them a lot of money, they'd have made them sound that bit more polished. But we're quite happy with the livey type sound that we've got from it all.
And how does a drummer sing?
It's hard work. Trust me, I don't know why.
Hitting things and singing.
It's the breathing technique that's the difficult bit. Particularly if you're going for higher notes or longer notes. So when your arms and legs are going, and trying to keep the note in the middle rather than it being flat or overly played. So it's hard work. But I've sort of mastered it now, so I don't like letting it go. It'd be nice to get a drummer, but I really enjoy doing it.
Oh, you'd step back and become singer and let somebody else hit the skins?
Well, maybe if my legs are going. Yes, it'd have to be the right drummer, though. I'm very particular.
Yeah.
There's a couple of guys who I've played with in the past who I'd love to play with again, so... It's never a no option. It's a definite maybe.
Fantastic. And the future for the band?
Well, what I want to do is to regroup. I want to try and promote this album as much as possible, try and get as many live gigs out of the guys as we can.
Yeah.
Enjoy that, working together. I think it's when you've been together 2 years, you're at your peak. It's when you start to be really comfortable live and comfortable playing as a performance together. I want to get past that peak with them. And I want to start work on an even better album. We have got, there are songs that we thought were even better than the ones we've got on this album, but we never got time to record them to the level that we wanted. I want to do that as well now. I want to keep writing. So we've got another 20 songs in the pipeline, and I'm sure we're going to write some more. In fact, we started working on one on Saturday, so there's still going to be development.
So you've got 40 in the back catalogue, another 20 going on to the next album, and you're still writing more.
I can't stop.
You were like Eurovision. You've been doing Eurovision Song Contest.
Some therapy, man. Give me some therapy.
Hey, mate, thank you very much. All the very best of luck with Diamond Bridges and the album. We're going to finish off with The Light, if that's all right. And thanks ever so much for coming on to the Casimir Engine Show and telling us your story.
Absolute pleasure, Casimir.
Hey, thanks ever so much.
In the dark, see me crying in my heart, walking in the park, feeling my own heart, driving us apart in the light. Move that mountain in your mind, hope and pray you'll be mine. Walking in the dark, hiding in the park, I can't feel my heart in the light. take me closer in the dark. Make it clearer in my heart. Talking to the dark, finding my own heart, tearing me apart in the light.
So that was Mick Wilson from Diamond Bridges. Don't forget, you can get hold of all the details of all the bands, including Diamond Bridges, the Facebook pages that Mick mentioned, all on at Casimir Podcast on Twitter, at Casimir Podcast on Facebook, the Casimir Engine Show Podcast, if you want to write it out in full in the people, places and things section. I'll post them all up there. Now, so I'm on holiday in Tobermory, and I've come back to our cottage, Milk Cottage, and sitting on the wall is Beco, my new Bezzy from Argentina. I'm going to get him on the show because he writes books, he's an artist, he's a musician. And when I mean a musician, this is a guy from Argentina who's come over to Scotland and learnt the bagpipes. Anyway, he's playing the bagpipes on the garden. I said, here, come on, let me record you for the podcast. He said, no problem. Now, the only thing is, it's a little bit windy. I tried my very, very best to record it, and this is what happened. So this is Beco. I'll put his details of his Facebook page, his websites and all that kind of thing. I'll put those up as well so you can get in touch with him, see where he is. I think at the moment he's in Leek in Staffordshire, so I might meet up with him. Anyway, this is what happened when I got back home from a walk in Tobermory. You've got to tell me what you've got to play, what you're going to play.
The name of this column, the last song that I was playing, Fever of Donald Duck, and we start with the Otto Highlanders. The Otto Highlanders is a 6/8 march, and the two of them are 6/8 marches.
You don't got a very Scottish accent.
I'm trying to learn. I'm from Argentina.
You're from Argentina and you're playing the bagpipes?
Yeah.
That's the most bizarre day I've ever had in my life. It's just finished off that.
We're waiting for the a real Scottish to go there and teach properly. Very good, very good.
How incredible was that? That was Beco sitting outside my cottage on my holidays in Tobermory. We got to get him on, haven't we? We got to get him on.
You're listening to the Casimir Engine Show, recorded live in front of a studio audience.
Oh, heck, I didn't have the volume up. I couldn't go whole show without doing that. This is Transmission 13 from Manchester, with a very appropriate After the Rain. Put your hands up if you're going to Glastonbury. Casimir Jr. is. Is Transmission 13, new album, I Remember Louder, After the Rain. I chucked him some money and bought that today, because it is ace. Follow him on Twitter, all the details on the social media feeds. is great. That's it. Thank you very much to Mick for joining us. Don't forget you can catch up with them at all those festivals. Ripley Festival, Ripley Music Festival. Catch up with me next week, next Tuesday, same time.
The Casimir engine, reliably mediocre.